Messing up the joint. Orlovsky, what do you think Maye should be focused on?
I mean, real quickly with what Mike said, you just get a small glimpse of everything that is going on for these rookie quarterbacks. They're changing stance and they're changing the operation, let alone the way that they play. I think the big thing for Drake starting in this camp, play from the ground up. He is such a tremendous and gifted athlete that he doesn't use his legs enough. He doesn't use the ground enough. And once you get into that comfortable level, that controlled level, you really start to use the ground and play from the ground up. His feet, I've talked about that all off season. They've got to get way more consistent, way more underneath them. That's going to relate to a little bit more of a repeatable experience. Two, for a guy that is as big and as powerful as he is, sometimes the throws lack zip on him, and he misses some throws that he shouldn't, again, because of his feet or because he's not driving the football. And I think for a guy that is that big and that powerful, once he learns to play a little bit more from the ground up, he will drive the ball through passing lanes and to the perimeter in a way that he never has before. And those are all the things that Coach Maye was talking about. There's a lot to work on, which is exciting. And if the guy has the work ethic, he'll get there. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, I think everything Orlovsky was saying was pretty accurate. I just want to emphasize, because there's been kind of a back and forth that I've been hearing about whether or not he should start. And I think Drake Maye is very raw. I think he's got the potential to be a really great quarterback and could have a lot of success in the NFL. But one, I do not think that the Patriots are constructed right now to succeed by any stretch of the imagination, especially with a young, raw quarterback. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is doing anything with the Patriots, let alone Drake Maye. So that's why I would absolutely sit Maye, because I think he can really, really benefit from sitting a year and learning how to be a pro, learning the NFL, learning from a competent starting quarterback, someone who you can definitely learn from. And I think that's something that would go a long way, because if you tried out Drake Maye now, I think you're going to have some really, really bad games, really, really rough outings that it just brings down everything. It hurts his confidence. The team feels awful about it. They don't know what to do. Like it's such a bad feeling when you're not a great team and you have a struggling rookie quarterback, because there's nowhere to go from there. If you're a struggling team or you're an okay team and you still have your rookie quarterback sitting, there's at least a little bit more optimism. There's still this feeling of the future is coming. Now, obviously, you're going to have a lot of players that aren't necessarily going to be there next season, or the future is unclear for them, so it doesn't necessarily help them out. But it does change the overall atmosphere and tone of the building and the fan base even, right? It's just kind of this feeling of, okay, you tried out Drake Maye and there's a lot of struggles and you're not successful. Like, everybody's now uncomfortable. The front office, the fans, the other players, Drake, like everyone. So it becomes very problematic. So there's no point in rushing and trotting out a quarterback just because you drafted him high. And I just think that could go a long way. And some of the things that Dan is talking about that he needs to do is something that is in a game. So that's like, by definition, he greatly benefits from sitting out then and just working on some of his mechanics, some of these things that he needs to kind of develop that aren't necessarily being developed in a game. There's certain aspects of a QB that you really are going to only truly develop like within a game. This is not, I mean, obviously, of course, Drake is still going to have to learn things can also only be developed in a game. But a lot of the things that Orlovsky was talking about are things that are definitely typically more mechanical and are going to be developed in practice. So I think that's another benefit to where Drake Maye is at this point. And so I don't see what you lose by sitting him, quite honestly. He's young. he is raw. I mean, even the coach pretty much was like, yeah, he's got a lot to work on. Like, he didn't really say a lot of positives necessarily, and I didn't really like how the coach handled that, quite honestly. And I made a video before calling that out. I thought he should have done a little bit better of a job of saying, yeah, we're really excited. You know, like any rookie quarterback, he's got a lot to work on, but he's showing us some great things, and I'm really excited. Like, he didn't say that. He just said, he's got a lot to work on, and it's like, oh, well, that really instills a lot of confidence, like, in the locker room, in himself, in the fan base, in the front office. Like, sheesh, learn how to handle it better. Look at how Kevin O'Connell handled it, like, significantly better. He pretty much said, really excited. This kid looks great. He's growing. Like, he said all positives. Like, that's how you handle it. So I'm not fully trusting that the Patriots are going to be able to handle this best, because the problem is also with Drake is that you also now have a new head coach who's learning on the fly, who's learning how to lead a locker room, lead an organization, lead a team. And that's going to have a lot of growing pains as well, quite frankly, a lot of growing pains. And listen, he might end up being a great coach, but it'll take time for him to develop into a great coach. And I'm just never a fan of having a coach learning how to coach while a rookie quarterback is learning how to quarterback. It just is typically not a recipe for success. Yes, we can say, well, what happened in Houston Texans? That was a very unique situation. He was a bona fide, ready to go head coach. He was already coming from an elite organization, the 49ers, and they had an elite, ready to go quarterback with CJ Stroud, as well as an elite offensive coordinator that was able to help bring along, and a great roster as well, and a good schedule. So all of those worked out perfectly to set up CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans for success. The Patriots do not have that in place. They just don't. I think the Patriots can be competitive within the next couple of years or so, but I think even the biggest diehard Patriots fan is not thinking this season. I mean, I think realistically you have to be looking at it on like a 2-3 year timeline, which is never fun. I get it, but it is the reality. You're not going to just have a boom, they're now legit. I don't see that happening. So I think you got to look at Drake as a long-term play. So take your time and just let it be. But that's just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Drake Maye should start? Do you think he's already a ready-made quarterback, so just let him learn on the fly? They're not going to be that good anyway, so just let him kind of throw him to the fire. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.